Hi, beautiful friends and book lovers. I hope that you are all doing well. If you are new here, my name is Heather, and here at Heather's Book Review, I typically like to read and review mysteries and thrillers, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. I am going to be reviewing Reese's Book Club's newest thriller pick, which is We Were Never Here by Andrea Bartz. As you can see, it was also a Book of the Month choice for the month of... Oh, weird. They used to actually put the months on the back. Well, what month is it? August. So this was Book of the Month's thriller August choice. If you don't have Book of the Month, it's a book subscription that's $14.99. Not sponsored by them. I'm just telling you what it's like. It's $14.99 and you get to pick one of the books, but you can also do an add-on, which is like my favorite thing about the subscription. An add-on being like I got Cherie LaPena's Not a Happy Family as my add-on for $10. So, you know, these books retail hardcover for like this one's $27, but you can do an add-on for $10, which I think it's a great deal, especially if you're someone that likes hardcover books. I do have a referral code in the description below. If you go through that, I also get a free book from the company, which is sweet. But anyways, this was my Book of the Month choice. I chose it before I even knew that it was Reese's book club pick. I don't know if they like marketed that, made sure that they like did that for marketing. I don't know, but she did not announce that this was her pick until Book of the Month said that like this would be a choice, if that makes sense. Probably because they wanted to make it fair for all of the other 5 choices. But I chose this not knowing it was a Reese's book club pick, and then I got so excited when I found out that it was, because it's like even more of an incentive to read it. So if you're new here, I typically do a non-spoiler book review for you in the beginning, and then I tell you what I rated it, and then I do a book chat part of the video for those of us who have read. So if you've read and you're here simply for all of my thoughts and book chat, click in the book description below, and I always put a timestamp there. You just click on the time and it'll skip you ahead in the video, or you could just listen to the whole video and see what I rated it. But yeah, let's go ahead and get chatting about We Were Never Here. Before I get into the review, I do want to say you can connect with me on Instagram and Goodreads, same handle as my YouTube. It's just at Heather's Book Review. So I'm actually going to go ahead and just read you the inside flap. Sometimes I don't do this if I feel like I would rather just give you like my own little snippet, but for this book's purpose, I am going to go ahead and read the inside flap for you. So it says, a backpacking trip has deadly consequences in this chilling new novel from Andrea Bartz, the best-selling author of The Lost Knight and the Herd. I haven't read either of those. Emily is having the time of her life. She's in the mountains of Chile with her best friend Kristen on their annual reunion trip, and the women are feeling closer than ever. But on the last night of the trip, Emily enters their hotel suite to find blood and broken glass on the floor. Kristen says that the cute backpacker she brought to their room attacked her, and she had no choice but to kill him in self-defense. Even more shocking, the scene is horrifyingly similar to last year's trip, when another backpacker wound up dead. Emily can't believe it's happened twice, or happened again. Can lightning really strike twice? Back home in Wisconsin, Emily struggles to bury her trauma, diving headfirst into a new relationship and throwing herself into work. But when Kristen shows up for a surprise visit, Emily is forced to confront their violent past. The more Kristen tries to keep Emily close, the more Emily questions her motives. As Emily feels the walls closing in on their cover-ups, she must reckon with the truth about her closest friend. Can Emily outrun the secret she shares with Kristen, or will they destroy her relationship, her freedom, and even her life? So if you liked the book In a Dark, Dark Wood by Ruth Ware, you would probably like this book. I hated that book. So that gives you an idea of what I thought of this one. This book very much caters to the line in the synopsis I just read, can lightning really strike twice? You as the reader, I'm looking at my notes, are left trying to figure out how in the world something like a dead backpacker could happen twice on both of their vacations. That's basically your journey as you read this book, is figuring out like what the heck is going on. You're following along on their adventure. Is someone out to attack the girls? Is one of the girls crazy? Are they being framed? who in the world in this book's world truthfully has the malicious intent? Typically, I like to say like what stood out about this book to me, how predictable it was. I don't know. I mean, that just, yeah, it's, sorry, but it's true. I'll go ahead and say that the characters are nothing to remember. The book itself is just quite predictable, and I feel like I've been reading a lot of like predictable books lately, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm either on like a really good streak or I'm on a poor streak. I was on a great streak when I read The Maidens, and then I read Local Woman Missing, both two of my top 5 books right now, 2 amazing thrillers. If you haven't read them, I'll link my reviews in the description box below or put some cards up here or something. But man, I just, didn't like this one. I'm gonna go ahead and put my little bookish rating scale up here for you. Unfortunately, this gets the last rating on my scale, which is titled A Chore to Finish. Unfortunately, I felt like the entire book was predictable. Our main character was extremely annoying, and the ending was a tad confusing. It didn't feel like anything wrapped up nicely, and I was just left after reading the whole book just feeling like super unsatisfied. And I haven't felt unsatisfied with a book in a long time. Like, I felt like this book had potential, but like, I don't know. It felt like a lot of other thrillers that I read in the past. Like, nothing new, nothing stood out. Even like the premise of the story is nothing new, which was really unfortunate. For Goodreads, I'll probably give this a 2 out of 5. My personal rating, a 5 out of 10. This is slightly, and I mean slightly, above Survive the Night for me. Survive the Night is like rated as my worst book so far of 2021. And this book is just like slightly above it. 2 super hyped up books, 2 books that I was like really looking forward reading, and then I read them and I was like, wow, just like both huge disappointments. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the book chat part of the video for those of us who have read. If you're new here, I would love if you could hit that subscribe button and hit that post notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new book review. But for those who have read, let me tell you why I didn't like it. Okay, so first, did Jamie actually set the fire to Kristen's childhood home, killing her parents, or was it Kristen? I know in the book we're led to believe that it was Jamie because she wrote about it in her diary. But my thought is, like, how do we know that Kristen didn't write that in Jamie's diary, framing Jamie when she was the one that really wanted to kill her dad? I do believe that Kristen didn't know that her mom was going to be home. And because I personally think it was Kristen, I don't think it was Jamie. I mean, come on, like, what are the odds that Kristen, Jamie, and Emily would all be like killers? I know Emily wasn't really a killer. I know that like she pushed Kristen in that one scene and then like quickly realized what she was doing and grabbed her back up, and then Kristen tried to kill her and that's how she ended up dying, blah, blah, blah. But like, what are the chances that all 3 of them would be killers? You know, it just, that's why I really think it was Kristen who started the fire, because I mean, really all 3 of them are going to try to kill someone in the story. I mean, that just seems a bit of, like, far-fetched. I was so annoyed with Emily in this book that she just put up with Kristen's crazy behavior. She never set her in her place. And like, for example, she should have put her foot down with Kristen and said like, no, I already have birthday plans. You can't just do this spontaneous trip. You know, if Kristen was normal, then we might say like, oh, that's a really sweet idea, but she's not. Like, we knew in the book that like she had that, you know, crazy intent of like, I want Emily all to myself, and that's why she planned the getaway weekend. And it was just annoying because it's like, okay, Emily, like, you like this new boyfriend, you say that you want a serious relationship, but then you're just going to let Kristen, you know, get away with everything. And I was just so annoyed. I'm like, really? You can't just be like, no, like, what about next weekend? Nope, you're just gonna cancel your plans and go along with her. It just made me like really annoyed reading this because like in real life, I feel sorry for people who like can't or just won't stick up for themselves. So seeing our main character behave this way was just like, really frustrating. You know, you just wanted to shake her and be like, come on. Like, I think they had mentioned they're in their 30s, or maybe they just turned 30. I don't know. But it's like, you're entertaining her middle school behavior. She's only going to keep doing that if you enable it. So, oh gosh, I rolled my eyes so much in this book, let me tell you. I feel like I've read a decent amount of books lately where our main character just has like such wishy-washy emotions. I talk about that in my Survive the Night book review on like one of the main reasons I really hated that book. And this book was the same. It's like, I just need a main character who can like pick a freaking lane. All right, my friends, that concludes my thoughts on We Were Never Here. Didn't like it, just told you why I didn't like it. Leave in the comments below what you thought about the book. Maybe you really liked it. I don't know. We'll see. But I love chatting with you guys in the comments. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next review. Bye, you guys.